draw.
Nice.
I mean, I can make it work. If you're a muso out there, Jeff will get this, but it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
But it's Hermione can't draw, Hermione can't draw, Hermione cannot draw. She only reads books and she cannot draw, even if she's reading a how-to draw book.
Hey, guys, what's going on here? What is this? What is this? Why are you dancing like that? Stop that. This song is not even that funny, guys. It's not even that funny. And then
Lupin can't sing, Lupin cannot sing.
I can't too sing. Really speaking, you know what? Hey, guys, remember how Hermione can't draw? She can't draw.
Hermione can't draw, Hermione can't draw, Hermione cannot draw. She only reads books and she cannot draw, even if she's reading a how-to draw book. God,
Cute.
But I think it went too far. I think by the end of the run, I was just doing it too much. There was a time on Firebringer where Tiblin, played by Tiffany Williams, she actually got sick and left the stage. So she had a line coming up. I think we were all listening to Schwupsy do some stand-up comedy, and then afterwards Tiblin is supposed to say something, and she wasn't there. So I think that I kind of jumped in to cover up the line. But then also, I took that moment to really just give myself a monologue in that moment, too. So that was, a funny... that ad-lib was funny because it was productive and useful. And also, I think all of the castmates were, incredulous that I kept going beyond what was, the bare necessity to cover for this unfortunate event of one of our actors being sick.
Try speaking now, Joe.
All right, this is a sound test. Can you see my chili? Can you see my chili?
Wait, do we have...
do we have any first impressions? Jim, do you have any first impressions of meeting people? What was it like?
I remember first meeting you, Nick. I was auditioning for The Hobbit, which I had just gotten an email that they were doing, and I was like, oh, I got to audition for that. And I remember sitting in a hallway, and you kind of just, sidled up next to me and was like, can you read for this? And you passed me a script, and it was the role of Gandalf, and I was like, I think I can read for this.
Yeah. I remember when we were casting The Hobbit, we were having auditions, and we wanted to cast this guy named Pat Rourke as Bilbo. But Pat is, a tall guy. And
he's 6'2", and then maybe 250 to 300 pounds, somewhere in there.
Yeah, so we were like, he's a big guy.
Giant.
And we were like, I can't believe we're going to have Pat as the Hobbit. And we were like, it's okay as long as we can get a Gandalf. We were like, if we had a Gandalf, a magic Gandalf that showed up that was bigger than Pat, then maybe we could do it. And then you walked in and you ducked down to fit under the door, and you said, hello, I'm here to audition. And we said, perfect. So it was great.
Hello, I'm Gandalf. I'm Jim Popolo.
I think that was...
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, he is Lord.
Oh. The duck is Lord. The duck is Lord, Lord, Lord. The duck is Lord. That makes sense. Cool.
So, Robert, did you have a favorite, stage mess up during Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals?
I didn't enjoy any of my mess ups, but it happened a lot.
That sounds right.
Yeah, probably the dumbest one that I had was, I forgot, there's a bit in The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals where Emma figures out how to stop the aliens, and Higgins decides he doesn't want that to happen, so he injects her with stuff that knocks her out. And I forgot to put the syringe in my pocket before going on stage, and it's kind of a crucial plot moment in the show. So all I could do was, and I feel like this is the worst probable option, is I just mimed a syringe. I did a lot of space work.
Yeah.
I reached in my pocket and did a lot of...
But people get the idea.
In like a different kind of play, that might be bad, but in a StarKid play, it's not the
Luckily,
worst.
we had a lot of other pretend props, so
Exactly.
it
It was a choice.
yeah, it was.
I
it was
hate
a choice.
props for that exact reason.
Fuckers,
so
I,
fun.
this was still. I was so bummed because that was when I lived in Italy, and that was the thing that I always wanted to do. I always loved that show, and you guys did it without me.
Are we allowed to sing a Goofy movie song on here?
Sing off to today.
Wait a minute, did you say what?
Are we allowed to sing a Goofy movie?
They've been laughing since I
no,
can
wait,
remember.
no, when it's 245,000, we'll do it. Okay?
No more mix. Nope.
Goof up. Somebody take his guitar
Oh,
away. Take his
special guitar.
Darren,
No more.
Could you sing
September.
when we hit 245? Could you either do Eye to Eye or the other one, or
Dude.
should we do that?
Oh,
Don't do it.
Palline's
Do it.
gonna be cool.
Open up your eyes and take a look.
Okay, we'll do that when we
Oh,
hit
there we go.
245.
Okay. Sound totally good. Why don't we just do it?
Okay, then let's just
Open up your eyes and take a look at me.
begin to make a fix in your memory. I'm driven by the rhythm like the beat of the heart, and I won't stop until I start to stand out. Stand out.
If the sticky wheels always getting the grease, I'm totally devoted to disturbing the peace.
And I'll do it all again when I get done. Until I become number one. No method to the madness and no means to escape. I break every rule I've ever known that shape. It ain't a question of how, just a matter of time. Before I'm done to the front of the line. And you're watching every move that I make. You gotta believe that I got what it takes. It's a piece of cake.
Stand out. I don't know what the key change thing is, but
Oh, we messed up this
just stand out.
above
Good.
the crowd.
Stand out.
Above the crowd, even if I gotta shout out loud. Till mine is the only face you'll see. Gonna stand out. Tino to see.
I think I'm getting the keys wrong. I have no
I
idea.
also think-
Do so that was applied to so no one told you life was gonna be this way. So no one told you life was gonna be this way. So no one told you life was gonna be this way. So no one told you life was gonna be this way. Be this way. No one told you life was gonna be this way. No one told you life was gonna be this way.
The week we did this show, or the week before we did this show, my dad was in town. It was definitely the week before. I think we were still in the theater though, and we had started tech. But my dad was in town for like a dads and sons weekend for all the guys who lived in the house I lived in, and he came and saw a dress rehearsal we were doing at Studio One, and I remember he came up to me after and he was like, "You guys are opening this in a couple days?" And he was very skeptical, and I was like, "Yeah, we are. We're doing it. It's happening regardless." And he was like, "Oh, okay." And now I think he's become a believer. Bob is a believer. Bob has full faith.
believes.
Bob believes. Bob has full faith.
Wow. Guys, I love these iPad heads. This is so fun.
Yeah. It's like Futurama.
Hey, Jim.
Oh, hey, Jam.
I'm
Can't
holding
believe
you
it.
here.
They're
Jim,
all
I'm gonna
in
hold
I'm
you.
clothes
holding
now.
you in my heart.
Yeah. I like your hair. It looks good.
Oh, thanks. I like yours too. We're the long hair dudes.
Long hair dudes.
Jim. Remember the huge werewolf in the sequel?
Yeah.
That's a big.
That just looked terrible. I said I was a little bit sleepy.
I feel like there should be a dress.
Like, take it and run a little bit. You know?
Okay. Do you want to sit here, guys?
This has
No.
become a new hashtag.
Robert going to I haven't taken that.
Any-
Bye to say hi.
We've established that I look bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah, don't
I
tell
look
him he looks
incredibly
tired.
sleepy.
What are they saying to you?
Guys, yeah, guys, I know
they
that
keep saying I look
I know that you care about us, and we appreciate that. But Robert's fine.
Robert's perfectly awake. He honestly probably has more energy running through his body than all of us because he worked out this morning.
And he's young.
So
I'm just like one of the Addams family. This is just how I look. This is it. This is how I'm stuck looking.
no, we gotta move on from this.
All right,
guys.
did you guys mention that we can't play? No.
Oh, can now.
Oh.
And then play another difference only.
Alright, Rob, so here's the thing. It says do Aussie slang, and I'm playing you blues, so you can just sing just give me a blues of what's on the screen, or do an Australian thing.
Aussie slang.
Aussie slang.
Danny Longlegs in the dunny.
That wasn't a tune. I can't. I'm not as talented as you, Dan.
All you had to do was, that's not a knife! This is a knife! This is a knife! With power! Trim on the Bobby!
Guys, can we talk about Australian Power Rangers? To hell with Foster's.
Power Rangers.
That's Australian beer. Is this of the Kickstarters up to 207,000. 207,000. I forgot how to say numbers. $207,739.
That's kind of weird. Not as good as the video.
I'm gonna ruin Darren's guitar.
You just break all the strings and then fall on it and crush it.
Yeah, you know what? We should record like an alternate, just you jumping on stage singing Meteor hits, and then like here's an alternate. You can insert this into your viewing experience if you want.
Put a little link in the video.
Yeah. Like a response video.
Pause here. Yeah, it's like Bandersnatch.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah. It would have to be you in like a Newsies type.
Why can't it be you?
Because
inserting it
because
into
I
video.
can't pirouette across a stage like you can. I don't have the lift in my calves. I'm an old man.
I think the
and
lottery
can't
was a
dance
little
very
dumbass.
fast and easy.
Yeah, I like 'em.
You can do that. You can do the leaps. I can't do the leapy things.
Come in.
This other show, I'm sure I've told this story a bunch of times, but Lauren was in this one show where it was called 1918, where Lauren played this girl that you came in for like a scene in the beginning, and then you were off stage for a long time, and then you came in for a scene at the end.
Yeah.
So I used to do this thing in the green room at school where I would go into the locker because I was small, so I'd go into a locker, and then I would climb out of the locker, and I would climb up the lockers, and there was a beam on the ceiling, and I would go across the beam on the ceiling, and I would go across the whole room without touching the floor. So, I was in this locker, and then Lauren came in, and I was like, I'm in a locker. I can't come out of a locker with Lauren Lopez right there. I'll look stupid. And it was during 1918. So Lauren was just waiting for her next entrance, and I thought, I'll just wait until she goes back for her next entrance. So there was an hour where you were just sitting there talking to people, and I was just hiding in the locker the whole time.
That is such a funny story.
I was too afraid to come out.
That made it worse because the longer you waited in there, then she would have known.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. That's why I had to commit to. She's got to be gone. Guys, sing showstopping number.
It's
Show-stopping number, a real show-stopper, a show-stopping number, come on. Something to shock 'em, to bring them a-crawling, a real-time box office draw. With press and the glamour, we'll kill the review spotlight on Mr. Ingenue.
tumbler. Got a show-stopping number for you.
This song's pretty good, huh?
I love it being a little more like Frankenfurter. Oh,
This
it's
song's
pretty good.
How do you do I?
Keep going. Keep going. Do the second
A
one.
show-stopping number
It's something you die for.
a real catchy
sorry.
worry tune. An award-winning score
That seeps in and out of your pores. A ditty to make the chorus go swoon. It'll unify humanity in a thundering chorus. No answer from this Broadway venue. So crash those shiny cymbals. Got a show-stopping hymnal for you.
Then,
Please just cause I'm up to my ass and shit. What is this business? Markets are crashing and I'm at the edge of my wits. I just can't take it when all I want to do is spend the day with Greg, and Steve, and Stu, and Mark, and Leighton. And Chad. Ring, ring.
Ring, ring. The phone rings.
I answer it.
Hello?
I'll be Joey during this.
Oh, hey, Greg. Fuck. Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hey, Greg. Shit.
It's like, hey,
Oh, hey, Greg.
Hey, Greg.
Oh, I'm swamped.
Oh, I'm swamped. With business. Stocks, bonds, golden parachutes. Remember those days on the football field? Last week feels like ages ago. Today. After work. On the football field. The old stomping ground. Say, Craig. Just you and me and Steve and Stu and Mark and Leighton and Chad.
your cat will be there.
5 o'clock. I'll see you then, Greg. I'll see you then.
All I want to do is spend the day with Steve. And 5 o'clock can't come soon enough. 5 o'clock can't come soon enough. 5 o'clock can't come soon enough. I can't wait to get home to my boys.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
A show-stopping number, a real show-stopper, an aria to rule them all. They'll rouse their money in a full price admission. The world will come crumbling down. Hamilton, moreover, a new show-stopping in town.
Here's a fun fact. Originally, that was in that octave.
Yeah, it was up there.
But I got tonsillitis.
Yeah.
Hey, Greg.
Didn't have it.
Oh, hey, Henry. It's just
Greg,
Jesus Christ.
is it really you?
Been a long time.
Stu,
Hey,
you
boys.
haven't aged a day.
Hey, boys, want to toss football around?
Toss around
Oh,
that
poor
old
pigskin.
Can it be 5 o'clock already?
It must be.
It must be. It must be.
Come on, Henry. We got some catching up to do.
Working boys, we're
We're ass and shit.
Nod.
What is this business? 5 o'clock can't come soon enough. 5 o'clock can't come soon enough. 5 o'clock can't come soon enough. I can't wait to get home to my boys.
And then he dies.
And then he died.
No, not my tummy.